Okay.
Hold on. Never had that.
Hello and welcome to the Marriage Can Win show. We are your hosts. I'm Eric, and this is my wife, Dr. Sakisha Highlake.
Hi. Here at Marriage Can Win, we educate, we empower, and we encourage couples to embrace that marriage can win, especially when you focus on three key areas: improving your communication skills, developing sound money management skills so you're not living paycheck to paycheck, and enhancing your level of intimacy skills so your marriage can win.
And we are so thankful for you to supporting the show. And so all of you viewers, we like for you to continue by inviting your friends, inviting your family members to share out the broadcast and start a watch party. Also, if you're not already following us on Instagram, we invite you to follow us on Instagram and we will follow you back.
Also, as you're coming into the broadcast, make sure you put in what city and state you're watching us from. That was really excited to see where the different areas are where we're connecting with people from. So definitely enter your city and state. So tonight we are overly excited, overly joyed. We have a phenomenal guest for you tonight. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about her. I've been watching her for quite some time, for a little while now, and she is amazing. She brings so much to the table. I'm sitting here and I'm reading the bio, and I'm like, how does one person have the time to do and accomplish all of this? So it's amazing. Tonight we have TV personality, motivational speaker, MC, coach, and author, Zondra Evans, coming to the Marriage Can Win show this evening. She's bringing with us over 40 years of corporate experience, and she's a talk show host. She's an executive producer of Real Biz Talk with Zondra. She has a global TV platform to showcase small businesses on Roku, Apple TV, Amazon Prime, Chromecast, and the list goes on and on. She's a dynamic motivational speaker and is known for her revitalizing messages, which makes her the inspired choice for memorable and entertaining seminars, lunches, and partner programs. She is captivating, she's compelling, and she's a force to be reckoned with on the platform. She offers a dynamic mix of message and realism, interspersing concrete solutions along with street smart insights. She's the author of numerous best-selling books, and we are so excited to welcome her here to the Marriage Can Win show. So everyone, give a virtual round of applause for Zondra Evans. How are you doing this evening?
I am doing very well. Thank you so much for having me. I was like, when you were reading that, I was like, who, me? Yeah.
Wow. It's so amazing to have you on this show. Can you share with our guests just a little bit about you, that maybe something we wouldn't read in the bio, so they can get to be familiar with who is Zondra Evans?
Yeah, kind of a country girl with a little, city flair.
Oh.
That's who I really am. I'm a mother of two very adult children, and I have 5 wonderful grandchildren, one of which is my, one and only grandson, and his name is Ezra, and I'm just tickled about him. He was the first grandbaby. I'm tickled about them all, but, he's the only boy, so he's, that's
gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness. It's something about that, the one and only grandson. It's just, they wrap you around their fingers. They just steal your heart. Oh my goodness. So when we're reading your bio, we hear so much about you being a producer, an author, an MC. How do you manage it all?
You know what? I'm gonna be real honest. It's by the grace of God. How many hours is it in the day? I was just saying before this interview, how do I cram in, 7 meetings, since 8:30 this morning, and then getting ready for an interview? It just all happens. But I do. I have a ritual. that I have in my life to keep me a little bit more balanced and, in good spirits and high energy. And so I incorporate that in my life every day and I get it done. I also will tell you, but when it's time for me to shut it down, Jesus will shut me down. He said, "Oh yeah, I ain't feeling too good today. So you're not going to take it down." As long as I'm feeling good, I'm running. Yeah.
But you know what? That's a blessing. And then it's awesome to be honest and transparent, because a lot of people, they see the outside. They're like, wow, she's doing this, she's doing that. But then she recognizes when it's time, her body speaks to her and says, okay, that's enough. That's enough. And we can just be real and like, it's time to relax.
Yeah.
And that's a powerful tool, because I think more entrepreneurs need to understand that you do have to shut down. Some people, they go really hard, 60, 70 hours a week. And then some are like, you know what? This week I might have to do 20 or 30 and be okay with that.
But you know what? Just from talking with you in the green room, I can tell this is not a job. This is not work for you. This is passion and you're just having fun.
It is really the truth. It is passion. And you know what? And let me tell you, but when you work 40 years in corporate America, and
that's true.
All you got, and then you get to deuces and you go out on your own. At this point, this is legacy work for me. This is not, and it ain't really work. It's like, it's a passion to create a legacy. And there's a reason for that, because of my history, that I'm the only remaining sole survivor from my immediate family. Yes, I have my children, but my grandchildren have never met their grandfather. He died 6 years ago. So for me, I am really out here saying I'm creating legacy for my grandchildren, so they can say, even at my grandma's age, she went out there and built something fabulous for small business. So that's smiling.
You said something really key, and I want to touch on that point. You mentioned the transition from corporate America to entrepreneurship. Yeah. How was that process, or can you walk us through what it was like going through that process?
It was something. Okay, so first of all, on the day that I got let go, so I've had 2 corporate jobs. 40 years was 2 corporate jobs. I'm very loyal. I stick with it. I can make it work. I have that feeling inside of me. So 2 major jobs. But when I got my first layoff, I had never gotten a layoff. After 39 years, they decided they would give me a layoff. I was like, this is too funny. But I was skipping through the hallway, but yet other people was crying. And I said, now why they crying? And I'm skipping, something wrong with this picture. And now that I look in the rearview mirror, it's because I had an exit strategy. Oftentimes people think an exit strategy is just for a small business, but I had built an exit strategy years before I got laid off. So all I did was take it out and blow the dust off it and start implementing. So that's the difference. And so I really encourage people that are still working a corporate job. You do not know when you're going to get the golden handshake. So you better get you an exit strategy so you won't be in the hallway crying.
Wow. Now that's a gold nugget of wisdom. For those of you that are listening, whether live or replay, make sure you make that note, have that extra exit strategy in place. That's really, really important, because especially when you think about COVID, we weren't anticipating this. So people that were like depending on that 9-to-5 income,
exactly,
they were in for a shock.
Exactly.
But they were beyond shock. People were walking around here, it was beyond shock. It actually was like literally a part of them had died overnight. It was more than shock. Because what do I do now? I don't go to no job. Oh, I'm not gonna have no job. Oh, okay, now that's a whole nother thing. I woke up this morning with no job. How did that happen? So yeah. And they might have been stellar performers, So yeah.
So tell me, a lot of times, when kids are growing up and teenagers, they have something instilled by their parents that teaches them about, okay, well, you need to get your degree, go, get you a good job, or, you start your business. They teach you how to hunt because that's what you're going to eat. So is that the case with you? How was it that you were instilled some of this wisdom?
Well, I always wanted my children to get an education. So I'll say that because I'm educated. I have a bachelor's degree and I wanted my kids to at least have that, if nothing else. I'm not sure that I was telling them that I wanted them to get a degree because I thought it associated with money. I think just getting a degree puts you into a different pedigree. So
Yes.
that I think that's why I wanted them to have the degree. So I instilled that in them. But here's the thing. My kids are entrepreneurs by heart. Because when I was working a corporate job, I had me a side hustle. You know, I was always going to be doing something, selling jewelry, selling Tupperware. I mean, I was doing something, right? So that I instilled that in them. And so you see it in them today. Yes, they have very successful positions and jobs, but they also got their little side thing going because they saw that all their life.
Wow.
Okay.
See, I like that.
Yeah, I like that.
Definitely. Especially, kids tend to emulate what they see. If they see, a parent working hard, but then, hey, they're bringing in, they have those multiple streams of income. That's going to send a bell off for them. Like, hey, that's something I need to consider going forward.
So now, I know in the green room, we were just having such a great conversation. I want to find out more about you because it was just awesome conversation. Tell us more about your business.
Well, let's talk about it. I always have to tell a story when I tell about it because without the story, it really ain't got no glory in it. You read off. I'm a motivational speaker. I'm a published author. I'm a certified self-investment strategist and coach. That's what I really left corporate America to do. I never saw this big turn. This big old turn and what I was going to be doing. But once I started interviewing on TV, interviewing on radio, they seemed to love me and they kept asking me to come back. And I was like, they must really like me. This is something. And then I had one thing left to do on my vision board, which was Fireside Chat with Zondra, which is on the board over here. Fireside Chat with Zondra. And I was like, God dropped in my spirit, just do it, but shoot it professionally, Zondra. And I was like, wow, I'm just going to put it on YouTube like everybody else. And 3 days before I shot the show, I got my first offer to buy a Roku channel. And I did. And I said, what are you doing, Zondra? You got 2 shows you're getting ready to shoot. And now you got a whole channel. Are you crazy, girl? What are you doing? So that's kind of how it happened. And then from there, it just went from one thing to the next till, I'm today on Comcast in 3 different locations. And then I'm on, Amazon Fire and Chromecast and Apple and, several Roku channels and things like that. So it just happened and I embraced the change.
Wow, that's a great change.
Yeah, embrace the change. I like that. So you've stepped out of your comfort zone and you've generated additional streams of revenue. What would be your, I'd say your nugget of wisdom or advice for a woman who's, she's considering leaving corporate America? Right. Mm-hmm. What is your suggestion for that young lady, for that woman, for that wife?
Develop the exit strategy. I'm gonna tell you that because I think you need that. And if you need to know how to develop one and you don't know how, I have free discovery calls. You can find a free discovery call anywhere for 30 minutes with me to help you get that exit strategy. Because for me, I think that makes a difference. And exit strategy should be really developed in good times, not in bad times, because you have less choices. There's such a thing as anabolic and catabolic energy. Anabolic energy is when things are kind of going good and you got more choices available to you. Catabolic energy is when we are living in stress, fear, worry, and doubt, and you have less opportunity. So I say develop it in good times, your exit strategy. And then here's the thing. If you're making a transition from corporate, I will tell you right now, being a solopreneur or an entrepreneur, small business entrepreneur in this world, it is not a direct correlation with corporate. Wow. Learning to be in the community and working in the community and fellowshipping in the community is different from the corporate umbrella of protection.
Wow. Oh my
that's important. The mindset, because the mindset of a person that goes to work and works a 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, they get paid on a regular schedule, they get benefits, and they have their fringe benefits, is different from the person who says, okay, I'm starting my own business. I got to file with the Division of Corporations. I got to get my tax ID. I got to, get my website done. And then while you're doing all that, you're not getting paid. You're not getting paid. There's no check coming in. There's no benefits. So it's a whole different mindset.
Yes.
It is a different mindset, but I will tell you this. I also think, you should have, in order to be obedient to the mission, it's going to mean that there will be some sacrifice.
Yeah.
And so in my opinion, knowing what you're willing to sacrifice as you go into business is extremely important, because sometimes you get your kind of, you back up against the wall and like, okay, what am I going to do? I'm going to sell my car. I mean, because you want the vision to work. So I think you need to know that really upfront very well.
Wow. Yeah. That is powerful, because it's just, we have to learn to conquer fear in those aspects, because if not, fear will have you like, oh, I need to run back to my job. And you're like, no, but purpose is saying, no, you need to step out on faith. So you have that, or it can be something.
Because, a couple of days I was like, let me go and give me a corporate job. Because, I mean, really, when you've been under the corporate umbrella of protection for 40 years, sometimes you just be like, it just be so much easier to get that paycheck every 2 weeks, make my own schedule. I was fortunate because I had senior jobs. I was sitting at the leadership table. I wasn't, just doing a job. I was making decisions. And so sometimes I think I'm going to go make decisions on somebody else's dime instead of using my money to make this decision. But then you say, no, there's something about the freedom that comes with entrepreneurship that once you really get a taste of it, it's kind of hard to think about. I mean, you want to get that paycheck, but you don't want to go and do what they tell you to do.
That's so true.
That's true. I know we were talking about that. We said we don't want a company to be able to determine our value or determine, what a great an asset you are to them or are not. Sometimes they look like, oh, I can get someone else to do it for less money. No, you're not going to determine my value.
Yes.
So stepping out into your own, it just gives you that freedom to be able to say, you recognize your value. And it's can be a place of discomfort for some people. And you just have to learn to adjust, because I'll be the first to admit, my husband's always had the entrepreneurial bug, always. For me, I was accustomed to that 9 to 5 every other weekend. I'm like, okay, this is my direct deposit is hitting. And then when that stopped, ooh, that's a different type of feeling.
Yes,
but the freedom that we have now to pursue our passion and our purpose is so much more liberating now. It's like, okay, this is what I need to do. So
yeah, it is definitely more liberating. But I will say that, learning the ropes of entrepreneurship and being out here and having to really establish a different level of relationship, that you have the safety, the umbrella of protection is what I call it with corporate, that I can say, oh, I work for Intel, and everybody goes, oh, you work for Intel. But when you out on your, you say, I'm the founder of ZondraTV Network, and they say, well, what is that? Oh, Jesus, I am, then you go get that thing over to people and hit that button. So, you need what I have. And that's a whole nother thing, because you're under the umbrella of protection.
Yeah.
Right. That is true.
Yeah, they know who I am if I say Intel. So
Intel is a big corporation, kind of like Oracle. I work for Oracle right now, so my day job.
Okay, you doing that side hustle too, ain't you?
Yeah. It's for a while. Till we get this baby, we trying to get that exit strategy.
You know what they say, write it and make it plain.
There you go.
Write it and make it plain.
Yes.
But that's amazing. That's when you have a spouse that supports you in your endeavors, it makes it that much easier.
So tell me, now you're a best-selling author.
Yeah.
A certified self-investment coach. Wow, you just tell us a little bit about your books.
Well, I'm just going to talk about one because I ain't going to talk about everything. But, The Power of Investing in You, that book I wrote, that's a love book. I wrote a love book to the world. Realize that you are the most valuable asset and the true resource. And that if you don't learn to differentially invest in yourself, Who will? Who will? And even if you work for a company ought to be investing in you because you're the asset, right? I don't want to do your training courses. You need to be investing in something that I want to do that's going to further my development for me. So I used to tell everybody, 15% of your development plan ought to be totally 100% about you, what you want to do to be better, not just for the company. Company get 85%, but you get 15. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So as an entrepreneur, that a woman is wearing many hats. Now, what's one resource that you feel that women that are interested in business or entrepreneurs, what's one resource that you feel they shouldn't be without?
A virtual assistant. You need a VA and a PA. You need a personal assistant. You need a VA. You need that because I think we really, when we first go into business, we think we could do it all.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
No, not so. You're going to need some assistance, and you might as well budget for that up front and know that you cannot do this by yourself. And the time that it takes you to create flyers and documents, you could have a VA at $8-10 an hour that's doing that for you. Yes. And it could be remote. You don't have to have an office for them. But I think everybody needs an assistant. I tried it by myself. Soon got me an assistant. Like it wasn't even a month after I was like, "You tripping, Zondra? You better go and get you an assistant."
It's definitely worth investment. Yeah. That's investing in you. So now your mind is cleared and free, so you can focus on what you need to do. Yeah, because that trying flyers and emails and everything. Oh my goodness.
We know about that. That's exactly why we get them in the process now, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So tell me, what has been the most challenging part of your journey up until now?
I have to talk about streaming TV because it wasn't. I didn't beckon this into my life. This was a gift given to me from God. So I'm making it clear that I would not have been in streaming TV. I envision myself being on stage with a mic in my hand in front of thousands. And I was going like, yes, all this personality, I'm going to give it to them, or I'm going to motivate them. And so I had that goal in mind. And sometimes the goal you have in mind, how it manifests may not be the same. Yeah. So when I got the TV channel and then all this other TV stuff started happening, I had to have a reconciliation talk with God. And I said, listen, now, I wanted a mic in my hand. And, God spoke to me gently and said, you could have a mic in your hand in front of thousands or a mic around your neck in front of millions. Which do you choose? Wow. And I said, okay, let me go and shut my mouth. And just so that was the first thing. And then the second thing was, how am I going to do streaming? And I don't even know that much about streaming. Like I gotta learn this, so here I am, 61 years old and figuring out, okay, let me figure out Roku. How does it work? What do you do? How does it, learning the lingo and the terminology, and then being able to build something that is actually a total comprehensive program for small business entrepreneurs and keeping that in the hundreds of dollars so they can afford to be on TV.
Wow. Yeah. Now that is amazing. That is amazing.
So I guess this will also be your greatest accomplishment so far. Or no?
Greatest accomplishment. I don't know. My children is the greatest accomplishment. So really, that's the greatest accomplishment. Yeah.
Sure.
This is a great accomplishment too, because I have to brag. I mean, I will say this. We won the 26th annual Communicators Award of Distinction for media, TV, and talk show. So, and 6,000 people applied for that, and we won. We were one.
Wow, that's awesome. I gotta get.
Look, I always do like this. So, I got one of them awards. No, I have one of those. So that right there was a big deal. But when I won the award, I wrote my children a text. And I just told them that the whole reason why is for their children. I said, I want you to be able to tell the story. And I got a huge statuette, you know. I want you to be able to tell this story because this story is to encourage them and to motivate them that you could do anything, even at 61. You could do this. It don't make no difference. You can do it because you're smart and you're capable. So
yeah. Wow, I can hear just the energy from this protruding from you. Yeah. So the motivation is like ingrained in you. I'm getting motivated even more.
Definitely a motivational speaker. Yeah.
Bingo, you hit the nail on the head with that. That's what I really love. So,
wow. So tell us a little bit more about the fireside chats with Zondra.
Oh, they're so fiery. I know the fire pit, fire and ice on, and you know, you would think that it was hot, but you know, it's just for look. You know, we sit around the fire and we talk about, you know, real life topics. Because to me, you know, there's plenty of talk shows that talk about Brad Pitt and this one, that, and this one, that, and what's going on there. And I really didn't want to do that. I wanted to have a show that was my fun show that allowed me to really help you navigate the terse waters of your journey. And so I do things like, you know, what is it like to, you know, dating in the new millennium? Or I do things like about balance and bliss. And how do you marry those two things together? And it's real life people with real life stories that are sitting around the fire, just having a great time talking about what they think about these different subject matters. It's just fun. It's my fun show. And then my biz talk show is the business show. Like we really get down to business. When I designed even Fireside Chat, I designed it so that, let's say an entrepreneur doesn't have very much money, but you'd like to be on TV. You could be on Fireside Chat for like, you know, half of the price it is to be on TV and as a one-on-one, and you get a business mention. So your business get mentioned, you get to introduce yourself and your business. So that's another way to just introduce them into streaming at the most affordable price. So that's what I did.
I like that. I like that. A businesswoman and a passion for the small businesses, so to help others to continue to grow and expand their platforms. So that is amazing. Oh my. So tell us a little bit more that you're a certified self-investment coach. Let's talk about that for a little minute. You went from corporate America, you're a motivational speaker, author. So tell us about the investment coach side, the self-investment.
Self-investment. So, you know, we're inundated with coaches, right?
Right.
So I got my coaching certification probably 7 years ago now through IPEC, which is one of the renowned organizations for teaching you about energy. And I feel like I have a lot of energy. So I need, let me learn about energy. Let me learn how to finesse this thing. So I went to school at IPEC. I came out and there's plenty of life coaches. There's plenty of transition coaches. There's plenty of transformation coaches. There's plenty of them. So I kept thinking, what am I? What really am I? And I was like, the power of investing in you. I'm a self-investment strategist and coach. That's what I am. I teach people the true power of investing in yourself. And that when you start to know who you are and why you're here, and that you're the most valuable asset and resource in the true commodity, you will start to differentially invest in yourself. So that's why I do that.
I like that. I like that.
That's one thing that we've learned, that we have to invest in ourselves, because we can spend money on a lot of things, a lot of other commodities, clothing, food, entertainment. But in order to increase our value, and because we always want to add value to others, we know we have to invest into ourselves. And that's something that, people really don't normally do. They don't really think about investing in themselves, or really the most investment that they do is, something like formal investment, like going to college. And that's only going to teach you one aspect of, yourself. I mean, it is just to say, like you said, to be in the realm of an accomplishment, to have a degree, but to invest in yourself as far as speaking, investment in finances. You know, some of these things that you have to learn outside of college that college can't teach you. And of course, we have the real life experience, but then sometimes we need to have someone else who has been an expert in their experiences. Someone has been not only formally educated, but life experience, and they see the success in them. And so when you look at them, you see the success on them. And when they speak, you hear that. And so that is something that, you know, and they have some seminars and webinars. This is the time to invest in yourself by getting someone, hearing someone, because, you know, the word is saying you are what you hear, you are what you see. You got to put something in the eye gate, the ear gate. So what comes out of the mouth gate is something of quality, not just what's been sitting dormant, you know, and it's not been brought out. And so that's what one thing I would say to all the viewers is, when you're looking to get someone to as a coach, you want to hire a coach, look for someone that's going to be able to invest in you, wisdom. Look at the quality of their life, and their life speaks volumes. And, you know, that should be a deciding moment of who you want to invest into yourself with.
Yeah, I agree. But I do, you know, I have a lot to say. Y'all just say I throw y'all off when I go, oh, I agree. Hang on down. So yeah, I do think that is important. Like, you know, to find somebody, you know, that has some wisdom and has been here for a moment and can help you to navigate. But here's the thing that I learned when I went to school to be a coach. The answers are not my answers. The answers actually lie within my client.
Right.
My job is to learn how to tease out that which lies inside of you, and then help you to access that potential and be courageously intentional about how you do that. And that's the struggle. Because you know what it's like, people say, you know, give me a say, do you have affirmations every day? I say, you could say affirmations all day long, but if you don't believe them,
right,
that's true.
It changes, right? And if I say them because I'm trying to chant and make myself believe it, there's something else going on inside that you need to deal with. Right. So you know, that's how I see that. So it's all about it. The answers lie within. You have the answer, but you don't have the courage to actually do it.
That's the biggest right there. That's the biggest conflict, or what do you say? Overcoming that really starts a person on their way to success in their life, is overcoming what's in themselves, overcoming what the greatness in themselves. And so as an awesome coach is what we all look for, is someone who can bring out the greatness within us. Because we have, you know, we're thinking about what we want to do. We think about the success. And sometimes it doesn't come from what we see. It's just come from our own ideas. And we are our greatest hindrance because we're scared to step forth and take the effort. And as you say, you know, that's a skill of helping others to bring out the greatness within themselves.
And it's amazing how someone else can see what's on the inside of you, but you need that help sometimes to see it within yourself. Sometimes we just kind of feel like, you know, I'll say for me, a moment of transparency. For the longest, there were things on the inside of me that needed to come out, but I was so fearful because I felt like my walk wasn't like someone else. I didn't speak like someone else. I didn't articulate like they did. So I would hold back because I'm like, no, you know, I can't do this like her, not realizing that I have my own journey. I have my own purpose. I have my own, like you said, you radiate energy, you know, so people naturally will gravitate towards you and connect with you. And then we all do that in our own type of way, but we have to learn and what that is and learn to work with that, because a lot of times we're allowing fear, comparison, and all kinds of things to keep us from stepping fully into who we were called to be. So I think what you're doing as a self-development coach or a self-investment coach is amazing.
Oh, thank you. I truly enjoy it. I mean, I really do. I still have clients. And my clients say today, they go like, oh, you getting all this TV, you ain't gonna have time for me. I will always have time to mentor and coach. Because I always say the knowledge that I've gained, I don't own it. It's on loan to me. And because it's on loan to me, it is my duty to share it with the universe. So I'll always have time for one-on-one coaching.
I'll tell you, we have been so blessed to be connected to kingdom-minded individuals, such as yourself. And our viewers, whether they know it or not, they are blessed to be able to see and hear and absorb all this wisdom. And they have someone to look up to and say, oh, wow, I can be that. Because, especially teenagers and younger, young individuals that are growing up, when they look out, sometimes they look in their surroundings. They don't see anyone who has TV shows and channels and being motivators. They don't see that, but thank God for the internet now, and people can actually have access to them. And I'm just thankful to God that we're able to bring great individuals like yourself, so that we can share with our viewers and share it out and broadcast it. That's why if everyone that's on right now, share this out, start a watch party, because don't be selfish. Don't be taking in all this good wisdom, all this good stuff and knowledge. Let others see how they can grow, especially women. Women, you see, she is like, okay, everybody know about Oprah because she's just so widely. But see, here we have this diamond in the rough that not everybody knows about.
I love it. You said a diamond in the rough. You're right about
but we got to push her out there so everybody can see, have a mentor and someone to say, I want to be like her. You know what I mean? So this is what we need, especially people of color and Latinos, and they need to know that there's something other than just going to work and working for someone else and settling for, the jobs that may not lead into careers. Because as we know, corporate America has a ceiling for a lot of people. Because I know in corporate America, I've been trying for years and years to try to move up into management. And you would think after you get MBAs and all these certifications and all this training, it would be an easy, and especially when you find that some of the people who are in management don't have half the credentials that you do.
Yeah, that's a whole nother, we could do a whole because it's like when I was in corporate, I could talk about it because see, you still in corporate, but I ain't. And so
I better be quiet because some of my colleagues might see me and say, look at that.
I just don't say what it's like. Okay, all I'm saying is you could be the number one, because I was the number one. I was the national sales director. You could be number one. And you feel, you're just a tad bit too aggressive. Why? Because I'm smiling and got energy?
Wow.
It's always something. So you've got to always have something. So it became comical to me, y'all, when they say something about, are you just, too, professional? You know what I was saying? I'm so glad y'all found something to put on here. I appreciate it. For the areas of improvement and keep it moving, but I think that what happens for us, so I want to just talk about this a little bit. We let that define us. See, I didn't let that define me. Now okay. I kind of laughed it off like, okay, I'm glad you found something. Cause not that I think I'm so great that I ain't got no flaws, but I know how you want to stick a title on me. So I'm not going to accept that title, but a lot of times we'll accept the title and be like, oh, I don't know what I'm going to do. They say that well, what am I? No, show up and serve the world, the authentic, genuine you. That's all that is required. Ain't nothing else required of you. Just be you. Don't try to be this one. Don't try to be that one. Just be who you are.
Absolutely.
It's a lot. You don't have to transform and try to be somebody else, but we too busy leveling up. You might be leveling up to the wrong thing. Just be you. Just be you. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So for all those out there watching, just also know that just because you start your own business, there's a lot of competition in business, but you have to be that uniqueness that stands out. And even in entrepreneurship, you have to use your ingenuity, your creativeness. Let God download you for creative ideas so you can stand out and you can stand out in front of all the competition.
And the one thing about you that people may have judged you for could be the very thing that God's going to use in you and through you to connect and bless others. Yeah. Because I know a lot of times I would be considered bossy, but it was that leadership skill. It just had to be harnessed. Just had to be.
And sometimes we do need that. It need to be a little smoothed out.
Yeah.
I'm old now, but I done smoothed out. But some things do need to be smoothed out, but it don't mean it needs to go away. Because I think this thing about it going away. No, it's a true essence of who you are, and you should be proud of that. And we all have work that needs to be done, and there's nothing wrong with that. We are work in progress. It ain't gonna never be perfect, but we just keep trying at it, and we keep learning new things and doing new things. But I will tell the viewers that I don't care if you're in a corporate job or you're an entrepreneur. Everybody needs a set of coaches. And I'm putting it out there, not because I'm a coach, but because I want you to hear the 4 types of coaches I have. I have a life coach. I have a business coach. I have a media coach, and I have a spiritual coach.
Mm.
And they're not all the same people, because people from different angles see different things.
Absolutely.
You need that. You really need that spiritual coach, because I need somebody to pray with me, that I order my steps, Jesus. So I ain't got time to be trying to make it over again. I mean, so it's critical. But you need these different coaches in your life. And because you have the courage to get a coach, don't mean you broke. I think we think that, therapy and, it's like that. No, you get people that can look at, at kind of your blind spots and say, you know what, Zondra, one time my business coach told me, Zondra, people connect better with you on video than you writing. Now, you write well, but I think if you started using video more, that it would change your trajectory. I did it, and it changed my trajectory.
Wow.
Right, blind spot, right? So, I can't do all that writing. Just do a little talking and a little writing, and it kind of works for me. So
there you go.
Yeah. But that's a exemplary example of where you have someone else that can see something in you, and give you some strategies that helps you to be more effective to reach others and bring out the best in others. But I do want to set the record straight too. I'm not just saying, hey, corporate America is a bad thing. I'm just saying, for some,
clean it up.
You can excel in corporate America as well as you can in business, because some of us can excel in the leadership, or they can be the best technical person, the best salesperson, and just excel. And then it also, corporate America, like you said, you're on their dime, so you can actually invest in yourselves, get certifications, get trainings. If you're in sales, like I was a sales engineer, I was able to travel, meet other executives, other individuals, and you see that are excelling in different areas. I worked with different traveling companies, other corporations. You see how technology and business is being run in there. And so then that's how you can also get ideas if you want to move into entrepreneurship. You see how others are doing well in it, and it gives you ideas so you can do something on your own. I just want to set the record straight. I'm not just down.
Look, I might have went over to the left. I just was saying. But if I spent 40 years in corporate America, it had to be good.
Yeah.
I mean, really, because you would be 2 jobs and all my life. So it is good. And I learned a lot there. But it's just not the same as being an entrepreneur 100% of the time. And so I think people want to come out and test the water, but it's different.
Scary.
It's different. It's different
mindset.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we have some comments here. Let me check here.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, okay. So, oh my goodness, thank you,
We just got-
Marita, Trell, Maddie, Delmar, Bree. Thank you guys so much for joining. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, let us know where your city and state
All right.
that you reside in.
All right. Oh, Delmar, the HR queen.
Yes,
Oh
I
my
love Delmar.
She is amazing. She's amazing. But
Yeah.
this has been so phenomenal. So many nuggets of wisdom. And the reason why I'm sure people may wonder, okay, your show is Marriage Can Win. But you know what? We're individuals as well as a couple. There are things that impact us as individuals, as entrepreneurs. So that's why we are inviting dynamic speakers such as Zondra to be able to explain, to show you and to demonstrate to you, you know, where you could be married and, you know, you may have concerns in terms of transitioning from corporate America to entrepreneurship. And guess what? It can be done.
Yes.
You know what I want to do for our listeners, as we all always do, I want to give you a chance. We're going to give you a gift just for supporting us and also supporting our guests. I want you to do this. Get your cell phone out. Everybody get your cell phone out. I want you to text WIN to the number 407-258-1246. That's 407-258-1246. And then that way you can get a free gift from us.
All right.
I like it. I'm gonna text. I'm gonna text as soon as I get off. Writing it down. I'll be at 407.
Yeah, I'll put it in there again. It's actually right below us. It stays on.
I see it. Oh, I see it. I really want to take a picture, but that just would be all. No, I will get it.
So, guys, everybody listening, we're not gonna let you just miss out on all of this good wisdom and knowledge and coaching. So, guess what? You tell us. Let everybody know how they can reach you. Tell them about the events and what you have going on. Maybe some of them want to start on the waters of streaming TV. Tell everybody how they can get in contact with you.
Oh, well, it's kind of easy. You could just go to beonztv.com and schedule your complimentary discovery call so we can talk about what you'd like to do in the media and TV arena. And you might decide that you want to produce your own show. I have 10 new producers that are starting. So come on in and check us out. So beonztv.com.
Okay.
Awesome.
So do you have any giveaways as well? I don't want nobody to miss out.
You know I do. Okay, so my giveaway, but I'm crusading, y'all. Y'all know I'm crusading. So my giveaway is really around how to create a revenue stream through streaming. And so if y'all want to text Zondra, ZONDRA, to 66599, and you will get a downloadable document that will teach you about how to make money in streaming. Whether you come to ZondraTV network or you go someplace else, there's money in streaming and it's residual income that you can't afford to miss. So text Zondra.
Yes. Now see, look at that. Everybody, all our viewers, you just got a chance to get some free information tonight. I mean, we treat all our viewers just awesome. I mean, who could ask for more?
Oh my goodness.
I tell you. So before we go, Zondra, give another nugget to all those out there who are aspiring to create an exit plan, or they're starting to create their plan. How can they go about doing it? Give them a good one last nugget.
So here's a nugget that I'm gonna give you. I don't know that this is the nugget for creating the exit strategy, but I think it's a component of the exit strategy. So I want to just tell you, I would like to see people really figure out who they are and why they're here. And I think that there are a couple of times a day that your ears are open, your mouth is closed, and your eyes are piercing back through your own eyes, which is the window of your soul. And I think if you ask yourself when you're brushing your teeth in the morning or at night, who am I and why am I here? You're going to hear something. And at first it might be, pick up spaghetti in the dry cleaning. But if you become courageously intentional and very deliberate, and you start to ask that question, you're going to hear something. And then I want to know, do you have the courage to access that potential that is living inside of you every single day that we've learned to push down from our rib cage past our belly button? Spend some quiet time with yourself. No dog, no cat, no kids, no music, no TV. Can you do it for 15 minutes and be deliberate about it?
Now that's a nugget for you.
That is a
I'll tell
nugget
you.
for you.
Yes, it is.
So before we close, I want to ask you to give one more brief nugget on how married couples can manage work, life, and everything in between so their marriage can win.
Yes. Now I can tell you about that. I think that you have to be, again, I'm going to call it being very deliberate. When my children were growing up, when we were in the home, we had family time. We knew what we were going to be doing. It might be a different activity, but we have family time where everybody is together. We were very, very, it was important to us for us to sit down and have a meal together. So those things we were committed to no matter what was going on. And then there has to be this date night, like whatever it took to get me, you're going to do that to keep me. But then ladies, let me say this, however you was coming, you need to keep coming. You can't start putting no ponytail up at the top of your head, not, no makeup and ain't being right. Because then they're going to be like, well, who in the world is that? So stop sending your representative. That's what I think. And spend some quality time. But I think we have to be deliberate and very intentional about that, and not let success, kind of overtake us and overpower us, that we forget about some of the foundational things that our ancestors have taught us, right? Is that we should spend quality time with family. And you have to be deliberate about that. And you do need to have, that date night and that time to be with each other, even if it's just sitting in your living room doing nothing but kicking up your biscuits and eating some popcorn together. So I think that those things are important.
Now that was just awesome.
That was powerful.
That was just awesome.
Now
there you got it, guys. You got to take advantage of all of you out there. You have to take advantage of this broadcast, and don't just be selfish. Share it out, right? And those who just come on, you need to watch the replay and watch it from the beginning, because there's a lot of wisdom, a lot of knowledge, a lot of things that have been said that will help you find out, about yourself and the greatness within inside of you, and even give you some strategies on your life, on your careers, whether you're in corporate America, whether you're an entrepreneur, whether you desire to become an entrepreneur, whether you desire a different level in corporate America, wherever you go. This has been a broadcast that helps give you that motivation, that inspiration, and because that's what we do. And that's what we educate, we empower, encourage individuals and couples to win. We also help you in relationships, but in life. So the education is important. And then the empowerment is the wisdom piece. And the encouragement, and that's where we give you the coaching. So everybody out there, we just want to thank you for watching. Sakisha, is there something that you wanted to say before we close out?
Just remember that you can be the change that you want to see in your relationship,
as well as in life. But until next time, make sure you do tune in again, and also check us out on the Love Radio Network every Tuesday night at 9 o'clock. And you can always catch us here and also on our podcast. Go to www.marriagecanwinpodcast.com.
And thank you again to Zondra Evans for spending time with us this evening. We could go on and on, because I know I still have questions running through my mind that I want to ask. I want to be respectful of everyone's time. So we're going to have to schedule a time to get you back on the show again.
Don't you go nowhere.
Thank you very much for having me. I had a ball.
Thank you so much. And as my wife said, and I'll just reiterate again, you be the change that you want to see in your life and also your relationship. Until next time. Bye.
Peace.